the Community Policing Committee here with us in the studio. And just before we went on that very short break, I asked, should community policing be more on the preventive side or on the proactive side? And again, looking at issues regarding mind your business syndrome, a lot of people have gotten involved in some cases and then got their fingers burnt, hence the mind my business syndrome. So I'd like you to address that.
So community policing is both preventive and proactive. It is preventive when we get the information before the incident happens. And at times after the incident might have happened, it is proactive when we are able to get tangible information, insights, clicks on little things we need to watch out for to identify who the exact criminals are. So, and that is where the involvement of everyone before it happens. You get an information, you are fortunate to be somewhere and you hear this might happen here tomorrow. Because you just had might happen and you give the information to the right people, it might be preventable. But where it was planned out of, let me say out of space, and it is happening and it has happened, you might just need to help the security agencies by saying, they left here in a green car. The person that left here was wearing this, was this tall, was looking this way, and that way it can be easy for the security agencies to circle a perimeter and identify those features. So both preventive and proactive community policing engages both ways. But the basic is that when you see something, you say something so that they can act as fast as possible and achieve what needs to be achieved, which is a peaceful and safer society.
And then the issue of people who get involved and then kind of enter trouble.
People who get involved and get their fingers burnt, I would say I want to sympathize with them, apologize that that has happened in the past.
But are there ways, citizens can give out intelligence in a safe and legal manner without them exposing themselves to danger?
Yes, I'm about to move to that.
Okay.
So just like I have sympathized with them for what have happened in the past, I would say the more we engage the community on community policing, we also engage them on right channels to pass your informations. So when you go to the right channel, I would say no matter how perfect the system is, it cannot be 100% perfect. Wherever we have imperfections, please report to an higher authority. I don't personally encourage people to report or give informations to every policeman they find on the streets. So by default, I would say only report to senior police officers. In your locality, you have who you call the DPO, the divisional police officer. Under him, there are about 3 other officers that I can say report to any of them. Then if there is a glitch, we can treat it much more easily.
Okay.
Because those people are people with integrity, with proven knowledge and experience, with years in the service that understand the technicalities of these informations. And if peradventure we now have a snitch amongst them, then it is easier to take up and deal with. And don't just say, I gave information to the policeman I saw walking on the road, and eventually the information leaked. Or I gave it to somebody I cannot identify, who I thought was a policeman. But instead, get to the closest police station, ask for the divisional police officer. If you don't find him, ask for the station officer, is the next man, SO. If you don't find him, ask for the AO, the admin officer. Ask for the major officers in the station. So when you have any intelligence, share it with them. In short, those are the people in charge of authority that can even dispatch a team to your destination. But when you share with someone who is already dispatched to a destination to work, who is rushing to his own destination, and you are giving him an intel, and he is not able to revert back as fast as possible, your intel might get lost in transit. But when you go to the right man that can dispatch a team, if there was no team dispatched to that area, they would have now dispatched a new team. If there were to be a team in that area, they will now call that team and give them the information they need to have, that this and these are things you should watch out for within your locality. And that means the community has been able to help the police with good intelligence, and the police is now working with the right persons to get the crimes nipped in the bud.
So now we've seen that trust issues have been, solved. So now let's look at youth involvement in crime. That remains a big concern, especially when we talk about cultism and street gangsterism. How can community policing now help further in identifying and redirecting youth risk crimes?
I want to look at it from two extreme ends.
Okay.
The policing end and the engagement end. The policing end will usually sensitize the community, would be able to engage the young people. But when we engage them, we can't engage them in the policing the end every day. We can't keep sensitizing them every day. After a sensitization, we'll still leave them back into the community. And when they are back into the community, what is the community engaging these young people with? So we talk about employment or unemployment. Are they gainfully employed? Are they learning trades? Are they gaining skills? You will come to realize that when people gain skills, they are gainfully employed. They are actively engaged in one activity or the other. Even if it's sports, they will have little or no time for what? For crime. Because they begin to pursue a career, pursue a better life. That crime becomes something they don't want to associate with because they realize that crime will not make them get a better life. Neither will crime help them achieve a career they want to achieve. Okay. So those two ends are things we have to look at critically. So I usually look at it more of the social, which is the engagement and employment angle. What are we doing with the young people? What plan does the community have for the young people in their locality? That way the community can build a set of young people that will be focused on developing the economy and living a better life than engaging in crime. And that way, crime will now become a business that will not be lucrative because people are seeing other lucrative means of living their lives. So, but at the same time, the security agencies, the only assignment they have is to engage, sensitize the community. They cannot do beyond that. It is not the job of the police or any security agency to begin to provide skills for them. It is not the job of the security agencies to give them education. It is the plan of the community itself as a whole. So when I'm using community as a whole, in our societies, we know families that are well-to-do and those that are not well-to-do. I used to encourage those that are well-to-do. Look within your environment. Who are those that are not well-to-do? What can you use to assist them? At times, it's just to engage them somewhere to get a skill, help them achieve the goal of graduating in that skill and engaging in gainful employment. That is all.
So how has that been, how encouraging has that been?
But truly, I have to accept that skills training in Nigeria, as much as a lot of people are trying their best to do it, it is not really encouraging for the young population. And that is why you tend to realize that even some basic skills like plumbing, tiling and the likes, when some firms or some real estate companies wants to do them, they now begin to engage people from other neighboring communities or countries, even around Nigeria, to come and do those jobs.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that because they've been empowered, it has to be automatic employment for them.
The funniest thing is, in most cases, when you are empowered in a particular skill, the employment is not, I'm not using the word government as employment. You will most likely get opportunity to utilize that skill.
Sure.
So when you get opportunity to utilize your skill and you are gainfully employed, it does not mean that you'll be working every day. I will not expect a carpenter to work every day. I will not expect that is the truth. A bricklayer might not get job every day. A painter might not get job every day. But if he gets a job once in a week and is gainfully employed, meaning he was able to earn something that will sustain him for at least another 1 week, he would rather be looking for a job for the next week than be looking for creating problems for himself that will not make him achieve getting a job in the next week. Because crime will just make him create problem for him that will not make him achieve that goal of next week.
So I want to ask, we're looking at local governments now. Is there a way is there a role they play in all of this?
The truth is, every level of government has a role to play. So usually, for many of us, we look at it as federal, state, and local. I'll say federal, state, local, and private. So never mind that I have added one to it. Because the truth is, every economy cannot live on government alone.
But it's the responsibility of government.
It's the responsibility of government to provide a direction. Then when we even say security, it is not the holistic responsibility of government to provide security.
Why not?
Because a standard policing architecture does not rely only on government security agencies, private security firms, vigilante groups, and the likes. Even those small security we engage at our gates, they are all part of the security architecture. So when we now say only government, you are passing the baton to one side. You are removing the community engagement, the active part of the citizens. We just want to look at it as the taxpayers' money. No. Let us look at it as, where do we cover our backs? You know, when you are in a football field playing, all players cover the back of one another.
Yes.
I don't know whether you get what I mean.
Yes, no.
Everybody wants to be available for the man that holds the ball.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
It is when everybody is available for the man that holds the ball. That is when the man that holds the ball can pass to the right direction and score the right goal.
So that's the issue of security.
That is the issue of security.
So
but when you now say, no, it is only the man that holds the ball that should go forward and everybody should step backward, when he needs to pass to another person to make a goal, he will look right and left and find nobody. And that is why I say it is everybody's role. Don't let us just give it to the government alone. Fine, local governments have begun to establish vigilante groups, groups like that together to bring them up. In some local governments, especially in Lagos, we now have some safety calls specifically for their local government. But the truth is, everything needs to be synchronized together. They need to work together with both the states and federal security agencies for us to achieve that safer environment. Nobody should say I should be a master of the information I have. Because I'll say for every security agency, they have certain rights and they have certain privileges. Some security agencies have privileges to use a ham. Some don't have privileges. Some have privileges to use a ham, but must not show it in public, except when needed. Why some? Their responsibility is to carry it in public. Even amongst those that don't have rights to use a ham, there are some that do not have rights to accost you on the road.
Okay.
Note, they are security agencies, but their job is mainly intelligence. When they accost you on the road, they expose who they are, which they are not supposed to. They are just there to scout for information.
Okay, because we're running out of time, finally, a strong message to Lagos residents about security responsibility.
To Lagos residents, whenever you see something, say something to the right person and don't look away. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Lukman Enito Aminu, spokesperson, Lagos State Community Policing Committee, and we've been discussing Lagos and effective community policing. I'm also going to drop this before we go. Security is not the business of the government alone. It is the business of everybody. And like Lukman has said, when you see something, you say something and you do something. We're going to short break. When we come back, the conversation continues.